Hi everyone who's listening. So my name is Unidentified Mobile Zondi, born in South Africa, KZN province, in 1993 February. So I am now 32 years of age. From ever since I can remember, I think my soul knew what times I was living in, or it knew about these times that were coming. Yes, I'm sure that you'd probably say in every generation they thought it was the end times because of the signs they would see. Yes, true, true, true. But if you think of it, they were the end times. It was the end times of that era, that age, that kind of system of thinking, that kind of technology or ways of living for each generation. There is either an improvement or a depreciation in the quality of technology they possess, knowledge they have, mentality or ways of living and interacting with people as a whole. Every innovation or new convention will have both pros and cons. The pros are what is going to push it to succeed for that generation, which means that there will be more than the cons that they see, or the cons will not be so significant that they outweigh the pros. As we continue with time, we supposed to grow, right? It's supposed to get better in theory. However, what I've realized as I grow is that time really is cyclical, it's not linear. I'm not going to go deep into science or spirituality or metaphysics with this one. I just want to make it super simple for anyone who's listening to get it. Before, the world was a global community and could communicate within a fraction of seconds in any time. Somehow I knew that something bigger and bigger was coming. I remember the years when I was born in the 90s, even cell phones, just having a cell phone was a huge thing. It was a big thing. I'm not just talking about physically, because yeah, you needed two hands to hold it. I remember my dad had this Alcatel. It was huge. Yeah. Me as a young person, I'm sure I would have felt if he gave it to me. However, it was still a big thing because it's like it's a telephone that does not need wires. Like you can go with it anywhere and be able to be contactable. It was a big thing that time. Big as it was, I think that's why they actually ended up making big pockets for jeans and all of that, so that those big phones could fit in. Those, those pockets that go down almost up to the knee. Yeah, so that it's just possible even without bags, because males or men, which were the first people who actually had the luxury of having the cell phones, either because they were allowed to have them at that time or they had the means, since most working people were the males and then the females would be housewives or they'd be domestic workers, which did not earn so much. It was just a glimpse for me of what is possible. But something in me always knew that more is coming. I couldn't describe it to anyone else or even to myself in a way that I could actually write it down and it makes sense. But it felt like the world was my oyster and I'd get to know the whole world. And trust me, I wasn't a dumb child that just has wishes and dreams. I actually researched, went to the library, walked to the library because I didn't have a phone or internet, to find out and learn about the world. How before I even was in grades where I could maybe learn geography or about maps and understand how big Earth is and what distances need to be covered to cover the whole surface of Earth. I had already had an idea of that from the books that I would be reading and things I'm interested in the library after school. And funny enough, most of the things that prompted me to go to the library was not homework, because homework was, it was prescribed. It felt like it was somebody else's interest, something that mm, yes, it was for my own good to do my homework, and I did it, and I always passed with my homework, but it didn't have that fire. That fire is from the question that the soul asks. It's when you remember why you are here without actually really consciously remembering it. When you have an interest in something or these questions that you want to find out about, and you know that no one around you, adults, children, whoever, even the respected people in the neighborhood, cannot answer those questions, because it's not from lack of trying. I tried, and then I ended up becoming like a nuisance to some people, because they were like, it's this child with a lot of questions. So I just kept quiet and I just observed how life was. But then that also taught me that it's not everyone who will actually be genuinely interested in your well-being, or um, not just what you're interested in, because there's not being interested in something, a topic, but being interested in the person that is talking about that topic or asking that question. So, for example, if you're not interested in what they're talking about, but you are interested in their well-being, their feelings, or their growth, you would engage in that topic, right? Maybe you wouldn't go to the lengths that that person would want you to go to, but you given an effort. So my family, especially my dad, did that for me. And my mom would listen to a lesser extent than my dad, because I think my dad was a bit cuckoo like me, a little bit crazy, a very curious human being who believe that nothing could stop him from doing anything, absolutely anything in this world. And when I mean anything, I mean anything. This guy grew up in apartheid times and died just after the 90s, just when South Africa got its independence. And already he had a diploma in theology. He died 2 weeks before going and just receiving his diploma in criminology. He had finished and qualified in it. He had books in almost anything and everything, from religion to politics to um, what is this, to law, to criminology. To I remember when I went, he didn't have a library because we weren't rich, but God made sure that we fine. I could call us middle class in South African terms, right? So we weren't poor, but we weren't rich either, which is God. So some of his books would have to be stored in the garage. Um, so when he died when I was 7. I remember almost fighting when I saw that some of the books would be burned or thrown away. Like, why would you do that? Imagine a 7-year-old fighting with adults. But why would you burn my dad's books? Why would you throw them away? This is knowledge. This is full of knowledge. What if we need it? What if one of us or all of us one day is helped by these books? Why would you do that? I asked. And then the other people there, the adults there, just laughed, thinking that what is going on with this child coming and telling us what to do, or thinking she has to say here. But my mom actually, it touched her. She listened. She might have not shown it so much around the other people that were there, but she just said, okay, let's leave them for now. And then you can come and sort through them and tell us which ones you need. Tell me which ones you need. We'll keep those and we'll throw away the rest. Okay, so that was that back then. Um, So now I was busy sorting through and seeing which ones I'll need, which ones I won't need. And it seemed like the pile of the ones I'll need was just getting bigger and bigger than the pile of the ones that I won't need. And my mom came there and she saw what was happening and said, you know what, it's okay. You don't have to decide this now. You don't have to do this now. Because, or before she said that, she had asked, like, but all of these books, how are you going to need all of this? And you are 7 years old. Which career do you want to go into if you're going? And then I said, that's the thing, Mom. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'll end up being interested in, or what could end up being my talent or my passion as I grow up. And then she said, okay, I understand. You don't have to choose now. We'll just keep them all. And as time goes by, maybe yearly, once a year, we'll come and check which ones that can be disposed then. That meant so much to me. That meant a lot. It meant that she had faith in me. No wonder they named me Faith. um, Although to them, I know it probably didn't make sense. Um, along with those adults that were helping her to declutter it, but she put her interest aside a little bit and actually listened to me. Although it wasn't part of her interest, she was interested in me and my well-being. So that made her listen to what would appear as nonsensical to anyone else to find what I was on about. And she actually found meaning in it. Okay, so before I drift too much, somehow I knew that it wasn't just what I could see. The world had so much more, either hidden or hidden potential that was going to continuously rise into a way where I could be able to actually travel the world, the whole world, maybe without even having to need the money for a ship or a plane to get to these places. Yes, I did think of an option of books going into stories, but that wasn't enough for me. It was a start, yes, but I had this feeling that I would have access to the whole world wherever I was. Mind you, this is before the internet, and now it's happening. And I remember at 14, 15, I had a diary. I was in high school. I think that's when internet was just starting. There was one social media that we knew about called Mixit. It's like text messaging, instant text messaging to each other. Yes, it didn't cover all the way to overseas, but to me, it started to give that. Oh, it was a tick in those visions of mine on accessing the world, being able to have a say or have my views or what happens in my imagination be heard by people who actually get it and be interested in it. Since I had stopped now talking to everyone about uh, my interest or my curiosity or my theories on things, because either it would be shut down or it would be treated in a way that I wouldn't have preferred it to be treated, or would have rather not spoken at all than have those hopes and dreams just shattered like that. And now it's here. So that inkling, that spark in my soul, that that almost like we can even say prophetic vision, it was true. And now this is the time I realize, because what seemed impossible that time, we are living it in everyday life now. There's something called live now. It's not just being able to call overseas or to be able to see a broadcast on television from overseas and broadcast it there through a certain channel. That's also um, was restricted because you needed like connections and having a channel and a certain talent, and there was competition, and I was just it still seemed quite impossible for an ordinary Joe like myself. Um, but now the internet, platforms like YouTube, TikTok, all these Instagrams, all these social medias that give every human being an opportunity to show what they can do, learn whatever they're curious in, teach what they want to teach, impact what they want to impact, and leave a legacy. So I was going to talk about this when I was 14 or 15 in my diary. I wrote that I would create an empire and I would leave a legacy. didn't know how. I didn't know what empire would be on, but I knew that within me, I had that thing that it wasn't just going to be this life only and then me dying and that's it. I knew that my name or my essence or whatever that was speaking within me was eternal and should last forever, some way, somehow. Now I have that opportunity. So I'm grateful first for my soul for not shutting up, even though it was told to shut up by a whole lot of people, even sometimes people that I would trust and look up to. Secondly, I want to thank the Almighty, the Heavenly Father, for saying yes, it is possible. Every time I would pray to Him and ask if I am just kidding myself, even though it wasn't a voice, there would be a feeling, overwhelming feeling as an answer saying, yes, it is possible. All is possible. Just have to be patient and keep your eyes open. I did that, and look at where we are now. So as much as I'm still finding my footing, finding my genre, because I can't really box myself in any category, that has been a beautiful problem that I've had all my life. That's why even now I'm a soldier, I'm a pharmacist, I'm a mother who's now a single mother, I'm an artist, I'm a what seems to be podcast host. You cannot box me because there's this fire within me that just it yearns for not only expression but for impact, for change, for doing something that will last forever, that will impact people's lives and make them better. And that's how I believe that you as a human being, or as an essence or soul that has lived on this earth, could be immortal when you have left an imprint on people's lives that continuously help them. Then you last forever for their generations and their other ones to come. So whoever, child, adult, whatever stage of life that you are in, you see that voice within you, the one that speaks to you even when you're alone, especially when you're alone, that keeps probing for something that you maybe turned away from or turned down a long time ago because of fear of being ridiculed or fear that of failure. Don't doubt it anymore. There's a reason it is there and there's a reason it does not go away. Pursue it and see. Maybe that is your legacy. Thank you. I love you guys.